I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Welcome to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, online homerightwaynesboro.com. Joining us today on Let's Talk TriState, the virtual interviews that we do, we have Diane Foland. She is the volunteer events lead for an event coming up, and also for the Frederick Friends of Our County Animal Shelter. And Diane, I'm going to let you take it. What do you call that for short?
Sure, we just call it FOCAS for short to make it easier.
Okay, so from now on, when we reference that, we're gonna say FOCAS. The website is, FFOCAS.org. Super easy to remember as well, and you see that on your screen as well as we move forward. So Diane, first tell us about FOCAS, how you got involved with the organization, and what it is that they do.
Absolutely. So I got involved with FOCAS because I used to own a cat cafe in Newmarket, Maryland. For those listeners who aren't familiar with what a cat cafe is, it's essentially a cage-free adoption facility that also serves coffee and tea and snacks, and people come pay a fee to visit the cats in a relaxing living room type cage-free environment where there's no stress to the cats and there's no stress to the people, unlike a shelter environment where there's, dogs barking and cats in cages, and it's hard to get to know a pet that way. So I had a cat cafe, but of course with COVID things, I had to shut down, considering it was like a social gathering space by definition. Right. And so I was looking for another way to help animals, and I was recruited by FOCAS. And so that's how I ended up with the organization, and I love it so much because we serve so many goals by helping the pets in Frederick County. And those goals include, one, our primary goal is to keep pets out of the shelter. And so when people think about relinquishing a pet for a variety of reasons, such as moving or behavioral reasons or allergies, the first thought is often, well, I'll just take them to the shelter. And so one of our goals is to transition pets from a home to a home rather than a home to the shelter while they wait and then to a home. So that's our first and primary goal.
And where are you located specifically?
So we don't have a specific office. We give our address as the shelter, but all of the volunteers work out of their home. So we don't have, as far as a specific location. And that helps just keep costs down for us so we can give that money right back to the shelter. So there's no reason why we have to have a specific office. But
now, so with that, and I think this is a wonderful idea, what is the primary, or what are the primary costs involved with FOCAS?
Well, that's one of the wonderful things, as far as our costs are really limited because 100% of our workers are volunteers. So we have no payroll, which is wonderful. And so we just have, nominal fees to pay to QuickBooks that we use for our software and just to keep our website going. But as far as from our social media manager and all that, everyone is volunteer based. And so really the only fees we have are like the licenses we pay to run raffles and things like that. So it's really nominal each year.
So now when we have this event, which is coming up, just let me go over this with everyone here.
Sure.
It is at Fitzgerald Auto Mall. It's a car show, South Edgewood Drive in Hagerstown. I will be there that day. It's Saturday, May 31st, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. is when the event runs. All makes and models are welcome. So you are sharing in the benefit of this with the Alzheimer's Association, another worthy cause. So let's go back to, just because I know that many of our viewers and listeners are very interested in all things pets and helping pets. So I want to make sure we're as transparent as possible. You said you have some nominal fees that you pay each year. Your overhead costs are very low. But the money that comes from this, is that what this is going to be going toward, is covering those fees and any ancillary things that may come up?
Absolutely not. 100% of the amount that we raise through the car show actually is going to go to the medical bills of the pets at the animal shelter. So, again, our primary goal being keeping pets out of the shelter, but our next goal is to help provide care and cover the medical expenses for the pets at the shelter. So what a lot of people don't know is taxes fund the very basic care for pets, and so it provides food for the pets at the shelter, and it provides, a roof over their head and the core vaccines. But anything above and beyond that, such as dental work needed or x-rays or blood work, anything like that, is not covered by taxes. And so if a pet needs that, it needs to be covered by donations. And so if a pet hasn't received that medical care, they're far less likely to be adopted. And so that's where Focus comes in. And so we cover the cost of the medical bills for the pets at the shelter. And so 100% of the money from the Fitzgerald event would go to the medical bills for those pets.
Very, very worthy cause. And Diane, what would you say is your favorite part about working with Focus?
My favorite part is that I get to see exactly where the money goes. And by that, I literally see the pets that we're supporting, and I literally see the vet bills. So the vet bills come through me. So how it works is, let's say a cat needs an x-ray and some dental work, or a dog has a broken leg. And so we get an estimate from several local veterinarians, and then we see, which one's the most affordable. And so we pay the vets directly. And so I literally see the vet bills come across my desk, and I pay the vet directly, and I literally see the pet at the shelter that we're helping. Unlike some organizations, you just kind of donate $20 and you don't really know where it goes or what it's being used for. I like being behind the scenes, and I literally see the work that's being done and who it's helping, and then I get to see that pet be adopted and know that was more likely to happen because of the work that we're doing. And so that's my favorite part, is that I can directly see the benefit and not hope I'm making a difference or wish I'm making a difference. I literally see it.
And do you said about the medical bills, the vet bills, do you have is there a network of veterinarians that almost like preferred providers that are willing to cut costs for your organization?
Yes, all of the vets we work with give us a discount. That discount varies on the service and the vet themselves, but we get at least a 20% discount. That's or wonderful. More from the vets that we work with, which we're really grateful for.
Yeah, it takes a community. I mean, those bills can be so expensive, and 20% that's massive. That's a great discount. Mm-hmm.
Especially when they don't have to, because I'm not sure how familiar the listeners are with the vet community, but we need more vets, and they're busting at the seams with clients. And so these veterinarians that we're working with, they're not hurting for business. And so they could easily say, like, we don't need your business and we don't need to offer you 20% because we have plenty of, regular customers coming in, but they're welcoming us and opening their doors to us when they don't have to.
I think the beauty of veterinarians is that I've never met a veterinarian that I've gotten the sense is in it for money. They are in it because they love pets. They could just as easily take the inclination that they have toward the medical field and go work in the human end of things and be set for life. But they go the route of animal medicine because they love animals. They love pets.
Exactly. That's our experience as well. And so it's been wonderful to work with our local veterinarians.
Let me go over once again, Diane, if I may. First of all, Diane is the volunteer events lead with Focus. And I'm going to say it one more time. I know we said we wouldn't, but I will. It's the Frederick Friends of Our County Animal Shelter, online, FFOCAS.org. What we're talking about today is how the Fitzgerald Auto Mall Car Show is going to go to benefit them along with the Alzheimer's Association. That is happening on May 31st, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All makes and models welcome. and they are on South Edgewood Drive in Hagerstown. Diane, before we let you go today on Let's Talk Tri-State, is there anything that you would have liked to cover that we didn't get to talk about today?
Sure. I just wanted the community to know that FFOCAS actually has 5 programs. I'd mentioned 2 already, one being our Project Hope program, which keeps pets out of the shelter, where we work with families to, like I said, move pet from home to home rather than home shelter to home. And that second program I mentioned, which is we call Brooks Medical Fund, named in honor of a pet from a long time ago named Brooke, who was unfortunately not able to be saved because at the time, the medical bills couldn't be covered. And so that's why we're here. And so I didn't get to mention the 3 other programs. The third program is our Cats with Character program, which is our foster cat program. As you can imagine, for anyone who's visited an animal shelter, it's a stressful environment. The dogs are constantly barking. And you can imagine being a cat, that's stressful to constantly hear. And it stresses some cats more than others. And so we have a foster cat program specifically for the cats who are extra stressed. And so we put them in foster homes while they wait to be adopted. And then our 4th program is called Brickle's Behavior Fund, again named in honor of a pet. And that's where we provide behavioral training for cats and dogs at the shelter for free to make them more likely to be adopted. A dog who has aggressive behaviors is not going to be adopted because people don't feel safe, understandably, bringing them into their home, just like a cat. And so we bring in dog trainers and cat trainers to help improve the behavior of the pets at the shelter to make them more adoptable. And additionally, we provide that service to families who are considering relinquishing a pet because of their behavior. So again, coming back to that goal of keeping pets out of the shelter. So like, I can't have this dog in my home because I don't trust them with my child. Well, before you make that step of like, let me take them to the shelter, we come in and provide that free behavioral training.
Wonderful. And
then our 5th program is our shelter assistance program, which sounds, you might be thinking, doesn't that sound like providing medical bill expense funding? But no, this is different, where we provide supplies to the shelter that go outside the realm of medical expenses, such as toys, bedding, and even paying for staff development and staff training, such as for the animal control officers to manage the public in appropriate and professional ways, as well as managing the pets that they might encounter or any animals they might encounter. So we provide coverage for that as well as needed. So we call that our shelter assistance program.
Diane, you are a wealth of knowledge. I can tell that you are passionate about what you do, and we're so thankful that we have you in our community, our neighbors to the east in the Frederick County area, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers also are from that area, so they'd be glad to help. Now, is there anything that perhaps someone may not have the extra funds lying around that they could otherwise donate? Are there any materials that FFOCAS needs?
Sure. FFOCAS ourselves, we don't need materials, but we send people to the shelter, because any materials we collect, we send to the shelter. So the shelter always welcomes, any towels, any blankets that you might have lying around that you don't need anymore to put in those cages. Any cardboard boxes can be used as makeshift litter boxes. Of course, the shelter welcomes any toys or food donations as well. Other ways people can help if they can't help monetarily, they can always follow us on social media, which is FFOCAS on pets on Facebook, and then FFOCAS for the number 4 pets on Instagram. And just sharing our information. We do an annual bingo every year, and we do raffles all the time. We have a raffle coming up for summer here where we're giving away a cooler full of some summer spirits to get the party going for the 4th of July. And we do a large fall raffle every year. 2 years ago, we gave away tickets to see Taylor Swift and the hotel. Last year, we gave away a year's worth of free groceries. And this year, it hasn't been decided yet, but we do poll the community. And so if someone can't donate monetarily, they can always help us just spread the word about our raffles and our events to help us bring in money, because they might know someone who would like to participate, or coming to the car show on May 31st.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, helping the pets, and we can do that with Helping FFOCAS, and you can do that if you have a classic car or if you just like classic cars. May 31st, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., South Edgewood Drive in Hagerstown with Fitzgerald Auto Mall. All makes, all models. Welcome. Diane will be there, I will be there, and we're just going to have a great time that afternoon, and it's going to be great weather and tons of classic cars, which is right up my alley. That's why when this event came around, I raised my hand and said, I will be there with bells on, no problem. So Diane, I'll see you on the 31st. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us on Let's Talk Tri-State today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, perfect, Diane. So before, I don't know if you read the email with the little the kind of instructions, but when I cut this session off, if you just stick around, I think it does give you. See, I've never been on the receiving end of one of these interviews, but I believe it gives you a notification, all set or something to that effect.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to stick around. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and we love spreading the word. And I know I didn't get to say it on recording, but even just people microchipping their pets and spaying and neutering their pets, and just keeping responsibility of their pets really helps, because when a stray pet gets loose, that takes resources from the shelter, and
sure,
all those things don't cost any money but can make a difference.
Well, we'll have you back on, and we can certainly get to all that as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Take care. We'll see you on the 31st.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.